Hey, how's it going everyone? Brandon here. So in my last video I mentioned that I was going to talk about some of the things that helped me lose the weight. And what I'm going to do in this video is talk about the two main things that helped me reach my goals. So as a recap, I was about 360 pounds at the start of 2011, weighed myself, scale said error, and that's never a good thing when you know that your scale is good up to about 355 pounds. So it was at that point that I decided that I wanted to start doing something about it. I just made some small changes in my eating habits, ones that were really getting out of control, going out to eat far too often to fast food places, and replacing that with either cooking food at home, buying prepackaged meals that had a decent amount of calories and were better for me, and bringing them to work, or if I needed to eat out and get something that's a lot more healthy. And by doing that, I ended up losing about 20 pounds within the first 5.5 months. Really wasn't all that much, but it got the ball rolling. Now on May 23rd, I had an appointment with my doctor, and obviously I knew that going into my appointment, the doctor would talk about how I needed to lose weight, I needed to start eating healthier. Doctor had me go and get some blood work done, but he had also mentioned that he was going to get me referred to a weight loss clinic. Also, prior to going to the clinic, he put me on a crash diet where I pretty much lost 16 pounds within 10 days. I wasn't too hopeful about what the results would be from going to the weight loss clinic. I figured it was just going to be a bunch of seminars, a bunch of group sessions and one-on-one sessions talking about how I need to change my lifestyle, how I need to change my eating patterns. And I mean, these are things that I already knew. I just needed to have that motivation. I needed to know more specifics, and I just didn't think I was going to get that from the weight loss clinic. Now I was right. There were quite a few seminars being posted up that were optional to go to. There's always a group session whenever I go in for a checkup. There are pamphlets, there are cheesy PowerPoint slides and things like that. But there was one thing that was really helpful, and that was called a kilometer test. Now what that does is that it gets you your RMR, or resting metabolic rate, to which they can gather your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. Now the RMR is how many calories your body burns when in a resting state. So basically over the day, how many calories your body's going to burn if you do absolutely nothing. I'm talking about sitting on a couch or laying down in bed 24 hours of that day. And if I remember correctly, the basal metabolic rate is basically what your body will burn on a regular day of just going into work, getting up and moving around, but not doing anything considered strenuous exercise or anything cardiovascular or anything out of the ordinary. So with the BMR, I knew how many calories my body would use up on a typical day, and I would just have to subtract 500 calories from that and eat that amount or a little bit less, and I would lose at least a pound every week. I'll probably make a video talking about the RMR and the BMR and what I've done to figure out how many calories I need to eat and how that's really helped me along. Now another thing the weight loss clinic really helps me out with is the fact that I have that regular checkup. At least once a month I have to go in, weigh in, and talk to the dietitians there and talk to a doctor there. So because there's that expectation that I need to lose the weight, and I don't like going in and not having lost that weight and basically showing that I failed at doing what I was supposed to be doing, that really motivated me and kept me on track in terms of losing the weight in a consistent and proper fashion. So by going to this clinic and using the information that they've given me, I've been able to lose upwards of 50 pounds within a 7-month period. Now while just going to the weight loss clinic and eating the recommended number of calories would have got me the weight loss that I needed, it wouldn't have allowed me to splurge every so often. I was lucky enough to have actually met somebody from Toronto, and what I did is I would go into Toronto on the weekends and basically we would walk everywhere. I wouldn't take my car in. We would use transit when we needed to go long distances, but if it was somewhere that we could walk within 20-30 minutes, that's what we would do. Or sometimes we just planned on going for walks, going to the lake shore, going to Kensington Market, going downtown, walking all over the place just to see the sights. I hadn't been to Toronto in quite some time. I really enjoyed it there. So my friend Sarah, who's actually got a YouTube channel, it's Black Radishes, so just search for Black Radishes up in the search bar. Also put a link in the description below. You can check out some of her vlogs. She's currently touring in Europe, so she's putting up some vlogs describing and showing the places that she's visiting. So really through the summer and fall months, Because of my friend Sarah, I was actually able to get out and walk a lot more, which provided me with the extra calorie burn that allowed me to, say, go out to eat and have things that I normally wouldn't have been able to have had I just kept on doing what I was normally doing and just kind of staying at home, sitting in front of the computer and going to work. So I guess I can say technically that exercise was part of my weight loss regimen, but really it was more for keeping my sanity, and it just made for an all-around better experience in losing the weight because I found myself able to walk further, walk longer, walk faster. My feet didn't feel as sore as they used to. It was just a great feeling to get out, walk around, be able to eat the foods I wanted to eat on the weekend, eat the foods that I needed to eat during the week, and just have an enjoyable time, an enjoyable summer and fall. It was really great to get out there with Sarah, and I really appreciate everything that she helped me achieve, and I can say that she did help me achieve the weight loss that I did. So unfortunately, during the winter months, December, January, and February so far, I haven't lost as much weight as I would have liked to, but it kind of makes sense, you know, the holiday season, winter, it's harder to get out and be active, and there's just that feeling to eat more and store more food that we're just kind of naturally used to. So I've still lost weight. It's been a little bit slower, but I think I'm actually pulling out of it now. I'm actually going to start exercising a lot more. I've recently signed up to get a pass to the gym that's across the street from the building that I work in. So hopefully that'll help get me more motivated to start working out, start exercising, and increase the rate in which I'm losing the weight so that I can reach the goals that I want to get to before I go on my trip to Europe to actually visit Sarah once again, and I'm sure we're going to be doing a whole lot more walking. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Like I said before, I'll probably make another video talking more about the specifics of my calorie intake and the BMR and RMR and things like that. And I'll probably go over some of the foods that I eat as well. And with that, have a great day.